Hi everybody, I'm Jenny Chambers. I'm a guest tutor with the Sugar Street Studios. Today I'm going to be doing a cake hack for you right now, and what I want to show you is how to make internal support structures for models in a kind of a cheaper and easier way than maybe the more kind of go-to method with rods and nuts and bolts and hardware and all the rest of it. So what I've actually done here is made a structure for my topper using plastic cake dowels and Exhibit A, a heat gun, which you may not have seen before. They're actually not very expensive. So first of all, what I've got here is two drums, a 7-inch and a 6-inch drum, and a standard cake dowel. What I need to do is make a hole in the top board and a hole in the bottom board, and then I'm going to glue gun the whole thing together, and then I'm going to be using a heat gun to actually heat up my rod and bend it into shape for the horse's face. So let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is place my rod here and work out how large that hole needs to be just by marking it with a pencil. Okay, and we'll do the top one first. Move those out of the way. Right, now I am going to do some rather crude stabbing here just to make a hole. Now the cutting boring bit's done, we can start doing some gluing. So I've got my glue gun here. All I'm going to do is attach the larger board to a piece of card. Like that. Now I'm going to line up my holes, and I'm also going to test, yes, that I've made that hole big enough before I glue and attach anything, because the last thing I want to do is make a mistake once it's all glued, because you're not going to be able to recut anything once it's all attached together. So, a little bit more glue, and this bit gets a bit fun. We're going to fill this hole with some glue, and now I've got the base card underneath. It's not going to seep through. You understand now I've put the card underneath it. So, line up my holes. Before the glue goes hard, just make sure that's lined up. Yes, it is. Right. In goes this first short dowel. In he goes. Then I'm going to use a wooden dowel here, because what I need to do is actually attach this one on top of this one, and he's going to be bent in half. It will make sense in a minute. So, I think what we'll do first, put some glue down the hole. Did I mention the glue? Did I say we're going to get through a lot of glue today? In goes my wooden dowel. Hold in for a couple of seconds. There we go. Right, I'm going to put that to one side. We have my next dowel. Now this is going to be the horse's nose and head. So what I'm actually going to do now is use a heat gun. I think I got this on Amazon, and it wasn't very expensive, it was about £20. And this gives off a lot of heat. So it's a lot hotter than a normal hairdryer, for instance. So if you're planning to use this method, you do need a heat gun, really. So what we'll do, turn on my noisy heat gun, and hold that horizontally and place it just holding the heat underneath that dowel. I don't know if you can see, I'm just going to turn this off a minute and show you. The dowel will start to just pucker slightly, which you can see it's starting to get hot. And hold it for a few more seconds. Now I think that's ready to bend. Okay. So that's the angle I want for my horse's nose. This will make sense in a moment. So I'm just going to hold it in place for a few seconds, just to let it cool down slightly. All right, what I might do actually, because that needs a little bit more heat, just going to do the edges. Because what you're doing is melting the plastic. into a new shape. Right, there we go. I'm just going to hold that for a little while. Right, yes, that's there, okay. Now the next stage, what I want to do, because it's going to have quite a lot of weight on this nose area, I want to give it a little bit of strength, because even though that's a good shape, it will bend a little bit and give, and I don't want it to give too much because it's going to be holding a lot of paste and a lot of Rice Krispies. So I'm going to put a support, almost like an A-frame shape, okay? So I'm just going to place that there, and I'm going to mark with a pencil. Put that to one side. Now these are my dowel cutters. Okay, you can see it's got a little pinchy, sharp knife. You could use a scalpel. Pop it into my, oops, the other way up. Pop it into my thing. Here we go, find the line. Cut it on the angle. And down we go. Okay, you see it's cut on a slight angle for me. So all we're going to do now is place this little A-bar just in there to act as extra support. So I need my glue gun again. There we go. So I just want to put the two angled edges there, hold them in place for a couple of seconds, and then I'll go over them again with glue. Now what we're going to do is place this onto our wooden dowel. And look at that for a good fit. All right? So I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Getting a bit of a sticky old mess here. Like I said, we're not going to use very much glue. On it goes. In fact, put a little bit at the top here as well. There we go. Okay, hold that in place for a few seconds. Now you might be worrying that this doesn't look very food safe at the moment with all this glue, but what I'm actually going to do, once I'm happy with the structure and once I'm happy that everything's in the place I want it to be and it's all stuck nicely, I'm going to cover it in aluminium tape, which makes everything lovely and food safe. Okay everybody, I hope you enjoyed that cake hack. If you want to see the full tutorial to show this amazing horse topper and the cake being constructed, then you'll need to go to Sugar Street Studios Cake Academy.